Hey guys, so I have some thoughts. The Master Alchemist. The Master Alchemist knows how to work all elements into the equation: the water for clearing or clarity, the earth for grounding and letting go, the fire for refinement of character, and the air for breathing new life into creation. Using commands through voice and healing through sound, carried by the very molecules in the air, and last but not least, the ether that hold the template for the elements themselves to work in unison together. The original template. I want to talk about the original template, and I'm going to show you guys a picture. Let's see if you can see that. These are bridges, crystal codes for bridges. These are activated through pineal induction. These codes are the codes that our DNA hold. Now, unlike the original, or it's actually distortion. Distortion means, you know how your biofield, when you are connected to source, the energy spirals down and the energy from ground spirals up. They create a constant perpetual energy spiral, which in turn, the magnetism for the cross nodes makes a cross up and down. So it's source, ground, and then this. As all of the elements connect, you're creating a perfect circle of creation, a perpetual creation code held in the DNA and the cellular structure of your body. This knowledge was once known, and through divisive matrix imprint mechanics and other things that they did to distort the original torsion field of our body, which is what we hold when we open our center up. We are connected to source, ground, and it creates this rotating torsion field around us. Well, when they introduced a phase lock system and connected anchors to us, we couldn't phase through our emotions, through our heart center, our mind, our vision, which creates blockages. You can't recognize patterns through numbers, codes, geometry. You start to intake this false light memory matrix system, which keeps you on a rotating wheel of their distortion, distorted information of true source. And if you pay attention to the Schumann resonance codes, or not codes, but charts, you will see how sometimes they show it as red, sometimes they show it as white. When it comes down, you can see it's spread really far, but then there's this little thin line coming down, anchoring in. Well, who do you think's holding that anchor of the divine template? We are. That's why we're here. That's why we've been attacked our whole lives since birth. That's why we always knew when we were young that this was a false system. That's why a lot of us never liked school. We were dimmed as we were children. And then the anchors and the trauma and the false memory implants started because they wanted to put us off of our divine path, our divine mission as sacred earth keepers and knowers and seers and healers and all of that. But our whole life has been a testament to that anyway. So, once you start to take yourself out of the equation and stop looking outside of yourself, you realize that it was all a culmination up to this very moment in life. Because all of that distortion has been transmuted. And it has been transmuted because people like me and all of the others here who still hold that original code, they anchored that in. And when they anchor that in, they choose to dissolve the false matrix system and go back to the original matricy that this was always intended to be. And if this is for you, you'll understand what I'm saying. And that's all I have for you guys for now. Bye.